There are lots of ways that you can use Notion to build out a goal or vision board. So in this video, I'm going to show you a really simple way. This is aimed at beginners so that you can really get to understand Notion starting at the basics, because I've heard from a lot of business owners in particular who want to get into using Notion that all the tutorials out there are too complicated and overwhelming. So this one is going to be a simple step-by-step guide that you can follow to build out a vision board and learn some Notion basics at the same time. So let's jump in. Okay, so to build this vision and goals page, we're going to work through this interactive workbook, which you can get from my school community. So I'll leave a link to my school community in the description. So we're going to skip this first one because it's just going through what we're building, which is a vision and goal board. We're going to build this out as a page rather than using any database features to keep this really simple, because this is for helping you get to know Notion as a beginner. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our canvas. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that our page is full width. So to do that, we go up to the three dots in the top right corner. Move my head out of the way. Actually, I don't need to. And if you look down here, you can see this toggle that says full width. So if I turn that off, you can see the whole page gets narrower. So we want to make sure that's on. The second thing we want to do is we want to add a cover. So to do this, we scroll up here. I've already got a cover because I added it already, but let's just remove this. And to add a cover, we hover here just above the title, and you can see this option comes up to add a cover. And Notion chooses something automatically, and then you can change that. You can upload your own cover, you can add a link, you can use Unsplash, or you can just select anything that's showing here. I'm just going to select this color for speed and go over here. The next thing we want to do is add an icon. So if I click here, you can see we can choose between images, icons, or we can upload our own, or we can remove. So you just select what you want. You can change the color of icons. You have these choices, and that's how you choose an icon. So next up, we want to add our goal statement. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add a call out. So to do that, we're going to use this space down at the bottom of the worksheet as our workspace, and we're going to type /, and we're going to select call out. And it's come up as a pink call out. And the next thing we want to do, if we move tab, is we want to change the color. So to do that, we click on these 6 dots and a menu comes up, and we go to color, and this is text color. We want to change the background color, so let's change it to purple for this. Oops. And you can see the color has changed to purple. So the next thing we want to do is change the icon. Now I don't have an icon showing, so I want to click the 6 dots, click edit icon, and you can see I can add any icon I want to, or I can click on the icon and I can click remove if I don't want any images showing there or icons showing there. Next up, we want to add a heading to our call out. So I can type ## followed by space, and the heading option comes up automatically. Otherwise, I can use /. Let me just add a heading, or I can type / and I can start typing heading, and I can select the header size I want, like that. Add a heading. So let's call this my big goal. Delete that one. Okay, next up, we want to build our vision board. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create some columns so that we can kind of add things in and have a nice layout. And this is easier to do, I find, beforehand rather than after you've started adding things. So below where we've got my big goal, let's type /, oops, and start typing columns. And we get all these options for how many columns we want. So let's select 3 for this. And now we can add some things into these columns. So for example, we might want to add an image. So we have a few ways we can add an image. We can drag and drop from our desktop. We can type /image, or we can use an image address if an image is being stored online. So for example, if I go to Pinterest, and let's say I want this image here, let's click on it. I can click on the 3 dots. No, I can't. I want to copy the link, which is here. And I want to go back to my Notion. And I can just paste that address in, and I can say I want to embed, and it's going to embed that pin. And I can make it a bit smaller by clicking and dragging the handles. So that's one way to add an image. Or I can type /image, and I can select an image from all the same places that I can select an image for the cover. But I can also choose a GIF if I want to from Giphy. So let's go upload image, and hopefully I can find something easily. Let's add this one for now. And it just uploads the image directly. And lastly, I can grab one from my desktop, which I have just grabbed this one from my desktop, and I can drop it, and it embeds that way. So those are the 3 ways that you can add an image, and as you can see, they are sorted by the columns that we already created. So the next thing we want to do is build out our vision board. So we have added our images. Let's say I want to change one of these images. I don't really like this one. I can replace, and I can add a new link. I don't have a link, so I won't bother doing that. Or here I can click replace, and I'm just going to use Unsplash because it's quicker. And let's replace with this. I don't really know what that is, but that'll do. Okay, so those are that's how you can change out your images as well. So next up, let's look at how we can embed something. So as well as embedding images, we can embed videos or audios. So I'm just going to use a YouTube video because that's the easiest way. So I'm just going to grab a YouTube link. Okay, so I've just grabbed a video from my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to paste the link. Try that again. And I want to select embed, and it's going to embed the video directly in my vision board. So you wouldn't use this video, you would pick, like, if you've got like an inspiring video, someone giving a TEDx talk or something that really inspires you, you can paste that into your vision board instead. So this is just some ideas of things that you can embed in, so we'll skip that. And then you can add in a toggle if you want some further information but you don't want it showing. So let's click / and start typing toggle, and we can have a toggle list or a toggle heading. So I've selected toggle list here. I'm just going to call this my why, and within that I can add what my why is and what inspires me to take action. And I don't like this as just a list, so let's turn this into this is, so let me show you that again. So if I hover over my toggle, you can see the 6 dots shows up. I click that and I go up to turn into, and I want to turn this into a toggle heading just so it's a bit bigger. And I can close that out and open it when I want to see it. So those are kind of the main sections that you might want to use to build out your vision board. And then when you're done, you can basically take this and move it into your workspace. So to do that, we want to type / again and start writing page. You can see page comes up and it creates a new page. So let's call this vision board page. And we use our breadcrumb to navigate back to the page we were on. It's just one step back, And if we scroll down, we can see we've now got a page called Vision Board page. I'm going to click this and I'm going to drag it above all of the pieces I've added myself. And then I'm going to select everything by clicking and dragging, apart from the new subpage, and then I can grab this handle here, which is the 6 dots that we use to access the menu as well. I just want to click it and drag it on top of my new page. And that moves all of that information into its own page. And you can see here, this is now its own page. And it's narrow, so we need to go to the 3 dots and we need to toggle on full width. And that looks better. Okay, so with our vision board page, if we just click into that again, because it came out, what we can do is we can favourite the page by clicking the star up in the corner. If it's yellow, it's part of your favourites. It just means that on the sidebar, if we scroll down a bit, we can see our favourites and vision board is showing there. We can also select it here, we can remove it from favourites and it disappears from that list. We can move the page just by clicking and dragging it, so I'm not going to do that just now because I will forget where I moved it to, but I'll literally click it and move it elsewhere and drop it. Okay, and if we go back slowly and where were we? We were moving to our workspace, and that's everything we really need to do to build this. We've moved it to our workspace, know where it's saved, and so we're finished. So the last thing you want to do is click this button to celebrate. I'm not going to click it here because when you grab it yourself, I want it to be a surprise. So click that, and yeah, well done. So remember, you can grab this, is in my school community, and I will leave a link to my school community in the description. And if you want to follow any more of these step-by-step builds on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And leave me a comment to let me know what you think of this.